filter here. Uh, Normally I don't talk about stuff like this because, well, I really don't care at this point. I kind of do, but it is interesting enough. I'm perusing YouTube, as I normally do, looking for some interesting stuff just to look at and maybe laugh at a few things here and there. But then, Passport Bros. This whole Passport Bro thing came out. So I've been looking at a ton of videos about who Passport Bros are, what American women think of Passport Bros, and the common thing is, especially because a good amount of these guys go to the Philippines, and one of the things which the people who are complaining about this seem to forget is that most of these guys go down there because, well, they're not bringing the wife back. Okay, they like to stay down there. Cost of living is quite well. I mean, a decent, if you have $10,000 saved up in your bank account and also you have a skill down there, you can live quite well with a very decent house. That being said, but but I keep seeing some of the women complain, the black women complaining about this, which just sounds really really harsh. I mean, it just, I mean, these women don't know what they're talking about in my book. This is just my personal opinion. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't try to have a dialogue with some of these young women from the Philippines. They just scream and yell. I mean, there's that one young woman, Joan, uh, Joanne, but it looks like it says Joan. I think it's some thing with the language or something. Anyway, she kind of made interesting points while talking down there, and I thought, well, she seems like an all right chick if you're single. No, sorry. But seriously, one of the things that I kept hearing though from Western women is that they're broke. You know, particularly black women keep saying that they were broke and all this other stuff, and they didn't want them. And that got me to thinking, with a lot of the women in America complaining, how many of those? Now we know that a good amount of them just don't like the attitude of American women doing what they're doing. They're just tired of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a decent 30, maybe 40% of those passport bros got friend zoned. So my question to those women out there, how many guys who were interested in you did you friend zone? I've known guys, myself included, got friend zoned. I got friend zoned like 5 times in my 20s. And I was like, oh, this is just not cutting it. And then I just devoted myself to hobbies and other things, so I didn't have to worry anything about it. And then I eventually met someone, and we had a nice relationship. And of course, time goes on, and you break up, and that's it. Then I got into another relationship, and I've been happy ever since. And this has lasted since 1996 to today. I mean, we've had our ups and downs. We broke up, got together, that kind of thing. But we've had a really good time together, and I have no problems. But again, I asked myself, how many of these guys got friend zoned? I mean, years earlier, if you got friend zoned, you really didn't have much of an option. You didn't. You just didn't. Nowadays, you got a passport. You could go over there. You don't want to deal with somebody who's going to constantly friend zone your ass. So that is my question. How to these women? How many guys who were checking you out, wanted to be with you, did you friend zone? How many? I guarantee you, most of these women complaining probably got friend zoned at least 3 or 4 guys because they didn't live up to whatever expectations that was tossed out there. And I think that's one of the things that you have to consider. They are not obligated to date you if you friend zone them, or date any other American women if those other women are going to friend zone them. They're going to go someplace where they know that they could meet somebody. Coincidentally, I was looking at something about what goes on in Vietnam. There's like more women out there than anything else, and to the point where women are so desperate they try to grab dudes who are just chilling out, walking on the street, to take them home to their parents and say, "Look, this is my new husband, yay!" It's it's very bizarre. You got to look that stuff up. I was like, "Holy crap, that is just bizarre." All right. Again, I just thought I'd put that out there. I think it sounds kind of funny. Um, but again, in all seriousness, How many of those passport bros did some of you ladies, or a good amount of you ladies, friend zone? I mean, if you, I mean, you can't fault a guy for going somewhere else. You know, you can't fault a guy for choosing something else or somebody choosing that which you rejected. I'll put it to you this way. Imagine going into a restaurant and you got a salad and the person next to you has a salad. Then you come up to the toppings. You know, you got your blue cheese, you got your ranch, you got your Russian dressing, you got your oil vinegar, you got Italian. And you go over, and what happens is you say, ugh, I don't like ranch dressing. Okay, so you don't have ranch dressing. But the guy next to you comes over and says, ranch dressing. In a normal world, somebody would just say, hey, go with God, man. I ain't touching that stuff. But you're not going to complain that the guy chose the ranch dressing. And that's what I'm seeing. Why are you complaining about somebody that you rejected in the first place? And again, you probably friend zoned them in the first. Either way, again, there's probably like I wouldn't be surprised if like 40% of those fast food bros got friend zoned so many times they just said screw it. Let me try my prospect somewhere else. Well, I thought I'd put my 2 cents in on that. If you like this video, uh, thumbs up it. Leave a comment. If you have some insight to help me out on this one, please, no insults, just serious insight. And don't give me this stuff that they're lonely and they're sex traffickers and all that. That's just a BS argument. I want a decisive reason why you think you should worry about somebody going abroad to meet somebody. I don't want to hear something about their mothers or their insecurities. Just tell me what is honestly there. Leave a comment below if you have other things you want to talk about. Do so. Until then, I'm Filter, and I'm out.